Hi, Sophia. Thank you for stopping by. So, I really took a lot of time thinking about this thing and just trying to calm down because I was so angry when it first broke out. And then I was like, let me just keep my emotions aside and then just calm down and make a video when I feel comfortable or when I feel like my emotions have been set aside from this. What I'm talking about is the case in Kayole. I think it was Kayole, the estate, where this woman with 7 kids, 7 children, was kicked out of her house because of lack of payment for rent. And she stayed there in the rain for allegedly 4 days with no one coming to her rescue. So first things first, let me just get things out of the way. Personally, I would never feel sorry for such a woman, and I would never help such a woman. And here's why. 7 kids in this economy, and you're simply asking for trouble. That's it. Let's just put it like this. So even without Corona, let's just assume that Corona was not with us right now. A casual worker who, say, is cleaning people's houses or clothes is probably making around 500 to 1,000 shillings a day. So a casual worker, so say earning 500 shillings a day with 7 kids and being a single mother is bound to be trouble. So let's not place Corona, let's not blame Corona for this. She was meant to be trouble to begin with. You cannot raise 7 kids in this economy as a single woman and working as a casual laborer. That's just it. Let's just put things into perspective and just be real about it. And the problem with Kenyans, and now I'm getting angry again, and the problem with Kenyans is that, especially women, we are such enablers. We are such enablers. And why am I saying this? Because yes, we want to help. I'm not saying that we should not be generous and we should not help. Yes, we want to help, but you are encouraging such a vicious cycle. Because a woman like that with 7 kids, what do you think that the other kids and even her own kids are watching? They're just thinking, oh, people would always help us. What watatusaidia tu? That's how we've been growing. We've been growing by people just giving us handouts. And then this same child grows up, also has another 7 kids or 10 kids, and is expecting people to help. And then what I was reading on those comments, guys are like, oh, the president should help. The president should help. Was the president with you in your bedroom, opening your legs and getting 7 kids? Was the president there? I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of this government, but then guys going like, the government should step in. Why? How? How should the government step in and help you? 7 kids, there's something called family planning. And I get really angry when I see women who clearly cannot raise their kids, having even more kids, and then coming on social media and asking people to help you. No, we will not help you. The moment you got to kid number 4, you should have realized, hey, this is too much. I cannot handle this. And I'm not telling you not to have sex. Have as much sex as you want. But please don't bring babies into this world that you cannot take care of. And I know this is such a cliche thing to say, but it is so true. Do not do that. My young audience, because I know most people that watch this channel are in their 20s and 30s. So hopefully most of you are still, like, you have 1 or 2 kids. Please, wachia hapo. For now, leave it there. And I know people are going to come at me and be like, well, if you don't want to help or it's none of your business. I agree. It's none of my business if you can help your own child. I know people who have like 4 or 5 wives. They have kids all over, but they take care of all of them. Hakuna hata siku moja, they'll go on Facebook and ask for people to help and ask for sympathy and ask for this and that. If that's your case, well and good. You have your 7 kids and you can take care of them without kusumbua watu, without sijui, I'm being kicked out of my house, sijui, The reason why I'm talking about this particular woman is because she clearly cannot take care of 7 kids. And now she's coming to the public for us to help. The only people that I'm feeling sorry for are these kids, because they never asked to be born in the first place. But as a woman, a mature woman, having 7 kids, and to make matters worse, the youngest is still breastfeeding. You're just giving birth like rats, to be honest. Like there's no other good term that I can put at this point. It's just you're just like rats, just giving birth and not really thinking about the future of these kids. And I know, number one, money is definitely a big issue. But other than that, it's not just the money that you give these children, but it's also the quality of life that these kids are having. Because if you're having 7 kids and the youngest is like breastfeeding and you don't even have a stable job, imagine kid number 3 on that line. Do you even think about all your children? Do you give attention? Do you give time to all these kids? I mean, I have friends who have like 2 or 3 kids and they're like, I feel so bad that I don't spend enough time with all of my kids as much as I want to. And these are women with money. These are women with the time, but they're still like, it's not enough. It's not enough that I'm doing right now. And I'm imagining you're a single mom with 7 kids. What kind of quality of life are you giving for these children? And that's why we raise men and we raise women who sometimes you look at them and you're like, weren't you loved enough as a child? And we say it as a joke, but it's for real. It's true. There are people who are never loved enough or even loved at all. So basically what I'm saying is, Kenyans, we need to stop being enablers. We need to start letting women like this suffer as an example to the future generations. Let the neighbors watch and be like, wow, or the neighbors' kids watch and be like, wow, this woman is really suffering and I don't think I want to have 7 kids if this is what it means. Let them know that you have to make the money and you have to have the time and the support for you to actually afford 7 children. And I'm not just talking about the money. I'm also talking about the support as a mother, the support as a parent being present. Imagine looking at homework for 7 kids. How are you going to do that? How are you going to do it for 7 kids and still manage a career and still go to work and still do all the other things and still be a human being? How the fuck are you going to raise 7 kids? Also, I do applaud the people who came in to help her. But if I'm to be completely honest, you did not help. You just made the situation worse. Hear me out. This is what you did. They went and gave her rent arrears were 6,000. She was paying rent for 6,000 shillings. 6,000 shillings. Then they moved her to a house for 7,000 shillings every month. So her afford 6,000, mempeleka kwa nyumba 7,000. Okay, well and good. And then the MCA paid for rent for 3 months. Then did shopping for her for 20K for the kids. And if you live in a realistic world, you know, if you have 7 kids, 20K shopping will not even, it'll probably take you for the month. And that will be it. 20K is really not a lot of money. But again, I applaud them for helping them. But the thing is, she could not afford 6K. You've taken her to a house for 7,000. Yes, you've paid the rent for 3 months. How sure are you that in 3 months, she would have already gotten a job? In this corona situation that you're having right now, guys are actually getting fired. They're not getting hired. So unless you're saying within those 3 months, you should have already gotten a job for her to be able to pay these 7,000 shillings. And let's put something else into perspective. I was just thinking about this. I'm like, for this woman to actually survive, she will need a job, and not just any other job. She will need to be making 50,000 shillings and above. Now, hear me out. These are 7 kids, right? Let's assign 5,000 shillings to all the kids. That's 35,000 shillings, and 5K is not even enough money. Like, I'm just putting it on the lower side, and that accounts for food, for this one child, for food, for let's not even put education because that's ridiculous. It won't be there, for just food and clothing and just regular day to day. Right? The rent is 7,000. Let's add 3,000 shillings for the day-to-day running of just electricity and gas imaisha and all that. So that's 45,000 shillings already that we're looking at. Then let's assign another 5,000 shillings for the mom for transport or clothes or whatever, which again is really a ridiculously low amount that I'm putting in, but I just want you to see how expensive it is for a woman like that and how impossible it is for her to survive in Nairobi with 7 kids. So basically, we've assigned the mom and the kids 5,000 each and the rent 10,000. That's 50,000 shillings, and that's on the lowest side that I could think of. Where is this woman getting 50K every month as a casual laborer? Where is she? Where is she getting it? Yeah? It's impossible. She's not going to do it. She's not going to make it. So this helping that you've helped her, you've actually made her situation worse. What would have been an appropriate thing, in my opinion? An appropriate thing is afunganye virago zake aende ushago. Go to the village. That is what a regular person would do. Why? The village, first of all, it's cheaper. You can get a house for cheaper than 6,000 shillings. Food is, I'm not saying it's cheap, but it's definitely less expensive than in Nairobi, you know? Take them there. If she has to be in Nairobi, if she really, really has to be in Nairobi, then she needs to find someone to take care of the kids there so that she can come back to Nairobi and start working. But she's not going to survive in Nairobi with 7 kids. And it is high time that people stop being enablers and started telling these things and speaking about them as they are. You know, you cannot afford 7 kids. Even a rich person in Nairobi will struggle with 7 kids. It is too much. And if you're young right now, in your 20s, say you've had your child, maybe planned or unplanned, you've had your child and you've gotten a second child, please stop it there. Wachia hapo. Life is too expensive right now for you to be below the age of 20 years and already have more than 2 kids. Please let 2 be the maximum. 2 be the maximum in your 20s. In your 30s, when you're a bit more stable, then you can add more kids. But ima neno ya kujapa na watoto wa 7 and then you're coming outside here to tukone huruma. No, I will not help. I will never help. Because again, think about it this way. This woman had neighbors, right? These neighbors could see her getting rained on. They could see her outside with her kids. Have you asked yourself, hakuna jirani hata mwenye alikuja kamchukua muingize ndani? Or have you asked yourself, doesn't she have friends or relatives or someone who could come take care of her? Do you think she doesn't have that? Of course she does. But even if you want to help, even if this woman was your own sister, even if you want to help, if she had like 1 child or 2 children, that's fine. You could be like, Kuja, come stay at my place as you sort yourself out. But these are 7 kids. How am I going to help you in my small house? I already have my own kids. I already have my own house and everything. Where am I going to take you? So you're making it even difficult for people to help you. Because I'm sure her neighbors would have helped her. History atengefika at Twitter, atengefika anywhere. The neighbors would have helped her. But as much as you want to help, you can't. You can't. How? How are you going to help a woman with 7 kids? And I know I'm really being tough on her and using her as an example, but that's because it's the story, it's the headline, you know? And I'm sure now that we're getting into this whole slump of corona and not having work and all of that, we're going to get more and more cases of people like this. And I'm just like, if you have like one or 2 kids, I can understand you're someone who can be helped, you know, but there's a certain point where even if I want to help you, I cannot help you because I just can't. So my final take on this is, Kenyans, do not be enablers. Stop enabling these women, because you're not just doing it for her, but there are other kids who are watching. Her own kids are watching, and it will be this vicious cycle. They'll grow up and they'll also have 10 kids. Why? Because their mom had 10 kids and she seemed fine, because they're always well-wishers helping her out. Anyway, I'm done with my rant. Please leave a comment. Tell me where you stand on this whole issue. How do you think such women should be helped? Definitely family planning is one of them. But how else do you think they can be helped? And as Kenyans, as human beings, as much as we want to be kind, and because God will bless us and all that, as much as we want to do all that, how else can we curb this situation? To me, I feel is just cut them out. Tough love at this point. Tough love. You know, if you purposefully do not plan your family and then such a catastrophe happens or even doesn't happen, and then you're coming to us to help you, we should be able to say, hey, no. The moment you got to kid number 3, you should have stopped. Why? Because you know you cannot afford them. So we will not help you. As an example, uwe funzo kwa hawa watu wengine wakuzaa bila mpango. Sawa. Anyway, I will see you next week or tomorrow, or I don't know when I'll make the next video. Leave your comments and subscribe, and goodbye.